One line.
Globalization is about homogenization of cultures, of economic structures, then everybody should avail.
He then reverentially involved the elite panelists from the corporate sector
Of what globalization is, that we can all start thinking on a sort of the same platform.
who were
coming out with thoughts and ideas. It has to happen, and it will lead to a beneficial situation for all the members of this planet.
It is an opportunity to be highly competitive. The vehicles that come with globalization are there: telecommunications, technology. You can't stop it. It's like water which finds its way.
The sad part is that despite this knowledge, people are still complacent in the main and hoping against hope that this will somehow go away.
Globalization, if I look at it in 2 or 3 words, is a borderless exchange process. We can remain isolated, or we can become part of it, we can gain from it.
Globalization essentially is a hype. It has been in existence since time immemorial. It's nothing new. We've just coined a new name for something that has been happening for all the history or the known history that we have. And when you look at a 6-foot Korean or a Japanese, you know there is a globalization taking place.
the young leaders chipped in their ideas.
Civilization finishes among the nations. Do you think there will be a just solution of a unified, globalized world?
I think basically if this whole thing idealistically the world becomes one place, do you think that ideal sort of scenario is realistic in the long term, in let's say the next 5, 10, 20 years?
दोनों सतह पर हमें काम करना है. अपनी हिम्मत के साथ जालिम को जुल्म से रोकना है, प्यार और मोहब्बत के जज्बे के साथ. उसके खिलाफ तलवार नहीं खड़ी करनी.
The state behind that bamboo curtain up there for quite some time. They took their time, stabilized their government, and then they came out of that. And then they said, let's just conquer the world. That's exactly what they're doing. Don't you think we are at the stage where we should concentrate on ourselves rather than going global?
Today, China is the most capitalist society that you can think of without China ever making an admission of it. It still talks about socialism.
I mean, on the day that 1.2 billion Chinese will have 1 billion cars, as if they were Americans, I'm not sure that there will be enough oxygen for us to breathe. This is globalization as well.
The knowledge base of both panelists and participants catalyzed the learning process.
We need to figure out issues that are relevant to us. With that in mind, I'll give you about 15 minutes, so we come back around 12:02 with all the syndicate sessions, and then we'll brainstorm the list that are issues that are relevant to us. Young facilitators, can you make it happen? Yes! All right, you take your team, you have 15 minutes.
Sing a song was the penalty of the day for all those who did not conform to the mutually agreed group work norms.
One thing, this representative, the first group is much easy because all the points that they have, they read out 3 points and they'll read out their points or baat khatam ho jati. The next group, they cannot repeat any of the points that the first group said. If the next group repeats any of the points, they will sing a song.
The young leaders were kept on their toes all the time, whilst their energy was channeled into different exploration sessions. Specialists and experts from the economic sector explored different pertinent issues and helped young leaders to find creative solutions to them.
You will be assigned certain sort of discussion forums for issue exploration. We must look at those issues specifically. generically baatein karke, we can do a lot of this. But then we will go back and look at these issues and inshallah brainstorm on maybe something that can be seen as a solution to these problems.
But it is not what you can see, it is what you can feel. तो कमीज दिखाई देती है, मैं नहीं, खाल इसी तरह से मेरी नहीं, ये जो लिबादा है, हड्डियाँ कुछ नहीं, ये सब जो है, this is just a way of living in this world.
All the models of development perceived to be the global perspective and the global model.
Some countries rejected it, and they're not in the Eurozone. Economic perspective, because this was the method to avoid war. So national legislation is in contrast with the community law. The European Court of Justice.
We need to understand that English is very important in spreading Islam.
We have divided classes among the people.
If we have proper imams and proper inference of your hadiths, your Quran, that's how it's going to work.
Our tradition generally has problems we can categorize.
Religious education at the elementary level and at the primary level is very important.
So it's not like one has to be shunned for the other. So balance is important.
जब कोई मुल्क किसी दूसरे मुल्क पे हमला करता है और उस पे कब्जा करता है तो डेफिनेटली उसके पीछे उसके अपने बहुत सारे मकासद कार फरमा होते हैं.
We still follow them. As you can see in Pakistan, we're still following the judiciary system, which has been made by the British.
People here have conservative ideas and they are not willing to listen to us. So first, what we need to do is we need to rationalize their minds.
It was very conclusive and very interesting, and we decided that we're going to come up with a performance.
I'm the problem to the society. I'm the lazy guy. I do not listen to anyone.
I was too stubborn and unwilling to listen and understand.
We were the smokers, causing pollution and disturbing environment, disturbing.
I'm the government. I just tried to assert my thoughts.
I was education. I was trying to fix the problems by teaching them, but it didn't work.
I'm the role model and I'm changed the one clause of the society and made a difference.
The other country is also producing something. One country is having the raw material, but the other country is not having it. So the one with the raw material plus the finished goods, it is having a comparative advantage over the other countries.
With this new textile trade agreement, there will be job creation in the market. Job creation will definitely lead to high economic development in our industry and in Pakistan specifically.
How it helps you to engage in healthy competition, which then helps you to just trigger yourself. Our next point will be explained by us.
The last point in the social sector that we made was an improvement in the lifestyle.
Social entrepreneurship strives to contribute to both social and economic profit simultaneously.
Reality is basically our perception. And our perception is based on some concepts that we have learned over the year, we have acquired.
Social entrepreneurship is an emerging global phenomena, and Mr. Fazl Noor of Ashoka Foundation was invited to explore it further.
Here is something that SMS needs.
And another pleasant evening awaited the young leaders as they heralded to the poolside for dinner. The hallmark of day 2 was the high-energy activities meshed with the intellectual interventions to initiate a process of true and honest learning. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts for yet another exciting day. Yes, you're right. This is to be the geopolitical day. Championed by Shireen Naqvi, the day started with the usual youthful exuberance.
Mr. Rabbani made a statement last year which has carried us through a long way, and that is that the Young Leaders Conference will one day become the accountability forum for politicians.
हमने वो जो अपना फितरी हक था कमज़ोर को दबाने का और उसको छीन